Hello consumers, this is Eltari, the professional gamer, back with you again for another PAX Fri-Dei review. As you can see, we're a little bit more dressed up today as we are preparing for the big Pax Dei reveal coming to us from the PC gaming show this weekend. So while Mainframe held off this week from dropping any new information in preparation for the big drop this weekend, I wanted to share my list of top 5 features and gameplay that I want to see from Pax Dei this weekend and in the foreseeable future. I want to get into this list, so if you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with any of your friends that might be interested in Pax Dei. And it will also help out our small startup channel. Without further ado, let's get to our list of the top 5 features and or gameplay we want to see from Pax Dei at the PC gaming show and in the future. Number 5 is Dungeons and Exploration. Up until now, we haven't really seen that much when it comes to exploration of the entire world and how dungeons fit into it. We've seen a lot when it comes to building, crafting, and exploring a very small part of what I would imagine to be a very large world. The developers have mentioned that there's over 20,000 players that are going to be able to fit into a shard. So that means there needs to be a lot, and I mean a lot, of accompanying land as well. So as a result, we need to see what all of this land is. Is it all going to just be the same cookie cutter thing, or are we going to get a lot of unique features and handcrafted locations and points of interest for us to explore? Additionally, they've done a lot towards mentioning that dungeons will be a very, very difficult and challenging, maybe even a puzzling location that you're going to need guides in order to get through at some point. And we haven't seen any of that yet in terms of gameplay. It's been described to us, but we haven't seen it. So it would be really cool if we could get a better glimpse at what the exploration and dungeon mechanics are going to be in game. Lastly, we know that in the first alpha, players are going to be playing in the Heartlands known as Marys and Carries. Being able to get a nice glimpse of that will also potentially give us a good indication of how far along or how close we are to a potential alpha date. So that would be really cool and something that we're looking forward to seeing. Number 4 is religion and lore. Now, while that did rhyme, we have read a bunch of religious lore texts so far on this channel, and if you haven't done so, do check out all of the other videos that we've made on the subject. It's been quite extensive the last couple of months, all of the information that we've been able to gather from lore, and some of those have even had gameplay implications that we've already confirmed either with the developer directly or inferred and kind of found in screenshots or gameplay after the fact. We haven't really seen what the gameplay loops are going to be when it comes to actually playing and performing religious tasks in game. They've told us that if you have a city, you can appoint a priest, and that priest can go and marry people, but we don't know all of the other functions. I would imagine that's not the primary function of someone who's appointed a priest. Is there going to be some kind of church that you have to maintain? Is there going to be some kind of resources that go into doing so? And what are the benefits for doing all of this work in the first place? These are the kinds of questions that I hope we get answered, at least in the coming weeks, if not the coming months. But it would be really, really cool if we saw some gameplay footage, screenshots, or anything that might be pertaining to religion and lore, as it's something that the professional gamer is very interested in. Next up, at number 3, is PvP and combat. Up until this point, all of the gameplay footage that we've been shown has been explicitly told to us by the devs to be a placeholder for future combat. Personally, one of my favorite action combat systems in an MMORPG was New World, though the time to kill was a little low and it was very, very buggy and definitely out of balance. So seeing a next iteration of that would be very, very exciting, and I would love to see some gameplay of this new system. Additionally, I personally believe that once we start getting a more complete picture of a very critical system like PvP and or combat, that means that we're getting closer to a completed game that might mean we're getting close to a alpha invitation in my inbox, right, mainframe? But nevertheless, I, in my headcanon, also have a lot of different pictures of what PvP is going to look like in Pax Dei. And I feel like the same is for most of the community. They haven't shared a lot of information when it comes to PvP, and it will be great to get some more information or maybe even some gameplay footage of what we can expect. Additionally, we know that PvP isn't going to be a mandatory gameplay loop that players are going to have to engage in order to experience the game entirely, and that it's 100% opt-in. So understanding how the developer is going to make PvP a rewarding and fulfilling experience, which is something that I truly look for in MMORPGs, while also not making it something that's mandatory and somehow finding a way to also not make it completely exploitable by players when they don't want to engage in combat. Getting some more information on that would be great. I'm not necessarily sure that we're going to be seeing that at the PC Gaming Show reveal, but hopefully we see some more of this information coming out in the coming weeks or months ahead. Next up, at number 2, is magic. We know that there's going to be many sources of magic in the game, some natural, divine, spiritual, and even dark or black magic, but we don't know how any of those systems are going to work. Are people going to find books with spells? Do you learn spells? Are they consumable items? What happens in game when we're trying to use a spell? And how is that whole system going to work? So far, they've been very tongue-in-cheek with regards to how magic as a system is going to work, but they have been very clear, especially in their marketing, that magic is something that is very real and present in the world. So getting to learn a little bit more about how that particular system works, especially when it is so big and overarching in terms of the general game as a whole, will be very exciting, and I can't wait to get more information on it. And then lastly, at the number 1 slot, alpha announcement. Yes, we've all been asking for it, and I really hope that we can find a nice little date at the bottom of the screen at whatever trailer or whatever gameplay footage that we're shown at the PC Gaming Show. In my heart of hearts, I'm hoping that we see something there. But I am still relatively pessimistic that we're going to be getting a date. But if we were going to get a date, this would be the place to show it. It's on the big screen. Everyone's watching. Hopefully they have a really great CG / in-engine gameplay footage, and they get people really hyped up. And then it says Pax Dei in your mailbox tonight. And that would be amazing. Anyways, that is it for my top 5 list of features and gameplay that I want to learn more about from Pax Dei's announcement at the PC Gaming Show and in the foreseeable future. What do you think we will learn about next, and what is in your top 5? Let me know in the comments down below. The Professional Gamer Discord is the best place to stay connected to me in between videos, and this weekend we will be hosting a live watch party of the PC Gaming Show. Feel free to tune in to me on Twitch and or join the Discord event and hang out with the community as we learn more about Pax Dei and enjoy all of the new gaming announcements for this year. I hope to see you all there, and until next time, I'm Altari, the Professional Gamer.